Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of ED Outdoors. Hey, today we're going to continue our broadhead testing. We're going to determine which broadhead gives us the best blood loss. Coming right up on ED Outdoors. Guys, like I said, we're going to today be testing our 3 broadheads and determining which one gives the best blood loss. Alright, let's talk real fast about blood loss when it comes to hunting. Determine how much blood loss it takes to kill an animal. We have to determine how much blood it has to begin with. On average, from my research, for every 1 pound that the animal weighs, it has about 1 ounce of blood. So a 50-pound deer will have about 50 ounces of blood, and 100 pounds, 100 ounces, 200 pounds, 200 ounces, so on and so forth. Now let's talk about how much it takes for the animal to bleed out. On average, that's about 40 ounces of blood loss for a deer to bleed out. Now when you shoot a deer with an arrow, you're going for blood loss, you're going for breathing loss, so that's why you aim for the heart and lungs. 9 times out of 10, a deer would die from not being able to breathe before it dies from actually bleeding out. But the fact that they bleed out in combination with not being able to breathe if it's a long shot and not be able to pump blood if it's a hard shot is what determines how quickly a deer will die. With that being said, I have a setup back here, and I'm going to be shooting at gallon jugs of water. And I went ahead, I deducted 40 ounces from each gallon. 40 ounces is equivalent to 5 cups. So 5 cups of blood is what it takes for a deer to lose before it bleeds out. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to bleed out. They'll die from the trauma, like the heart being shot, lungs being shot, liver, whatever. But 5 cups of water has been deducted, it's been marked. So I marked it with black tape on the jugs to determine the 40 ounce loss mark. We'll time how long it takes for them to bleed out and to get past a 5 cup loss. Alright guys, let's get started. Here's my setup. You see I have each jug marked with a black line, and like I said, once the blood or the water gets past the black line will be the mark of the deer bleeding out. Instead of just using plain out water, I decided to make it a little exciting. I got some cherry gelatin and add smells delicious. It's going to add some color, and then it also thicken it up because obviously blood is a lot thicker than just regular water. So I'm going to add a equal part amount to each gallon, and we will give this a shake and start our testing. All right. All right, now we have our blood. Alright guys, first up is going to be the toxic broadhead. You guys can see that. I'm trying to get it to focus. There we go. You guys can see that the chisel tip, 3 blade. You guys watched the last video, you can see a really good presentation of how it actually responds to destruction as far as penetration. So go ahead and get started. First shot. Alright guys, I hit a little high, but I still hit below the mark that we were going for. We have a complete pass through, and you can see the toxic symbol perfectly carved out right there as it passed through. That's how the toxic symbol looks, or that's how the broadhead looks, and it leaves that channel going all the way through the body of the animal. And I don't know what time it was, but I go back later and determine the time it took to get past that line. And it's a complete pass through. let's turn it around, take a look at the back. That is the exit. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. The exit wound, see, same thing, perfectly carved out. Toxic symbol, just like that. Alright, toss this one aside. Go ahead and throw up our next one. Next one that we'll be testing will be the Rage Broadhead. Alright guys, that Rage Broadhead did not expand. It went through, closed, and it stayed closed the entire way through. Which is typically not what happens. But there's the exit hole. You see, as it exited, it was still closed. Now, when it went through the bag, actually hit the bag, went all the way through, stuck to the tree behind it, and as you guys can see, the toxic broadhead also penetrated all the way through and stuck to the tree, but the Rage didn't fully expand. Even passing through the foam block, it did not. Even passing through that foam block, it did not fully expand. Now, I did test it the other day on the gel block, and it did expand. Had no issues with it expanding then, but somehow, some reason, this particular one did not expand. It's perfectly fine. I mean, it didn't really do anything. Not much chips or scrapes or anything. So we're gonna try to retest this. We use the same broadhead and same gallon. As it's flying, it should hit that front blade, penetrate, and as it penetrates, it pushes these other blades open, and it's supposed to go through fully expanded like that. What actually happened was it went through, did not open, and it stayed closed all the way through. And now that I'm pushing on it, it's actually making it open up and slowly leaking out. So I'm gonna hurry up taking the second shot. Alright, the second shot hit basically in the same spot. I mean, it did slice it open, but not wide enough for it to spew out on its own. Now it's spewing out, but it's because I opened it up. It's sliced, but I mean, slicing it didn't allow, as you can see, it stopped. The slice wasn't very wide enough to allow blood to flow through. Alright guys, last but not least, we're going to test the Swhacker and see what it does as far as blood loss. Alright, same thing, complete pass through. That one actually opened up both ways through on both sides, but it did not move this plastic jug enough to where it opens up. Now, if I'm shooting it at a hide, shooting it at flesh, will it open? Will it create enough space for it to actually bleed out and not just actually have a cut? We'll determine that in the next video, because next video we're going to shoot against the gel block and test the firmness of it as far as going through flesh. But again, if I open it up, poke a hole in it, separated like it's supposed to be, it bleeds out. Blade's perfectly intact. Not a chip, not a scrape, not a scratch, nothing. It went in, it hit. As it went through, those small blades, push open. Those big blades open up on the inside. As it came out the back, the blades were fully expanded and it sliced out. Just like that, fully expanded. Pass all the way through. Alright you guys, the results basically speak for themselves. Round 2, blood loss, gonna have to give it to the toxic broadhead. It punched right through, created a channel, blood poured out both sides. Granted, like I said, with the other two, they were mechanical broadheads. They did what they're supposed to do as far as the mechanics, but the slice that they created did not open up enough to let that blood pour out. Eventually, will the animal die? Yeah, maybe so, but maybe kind of hard to find the blood trail. And I've seen videos, I've seen pictures, people using these, and you know, they open up pretty well. They do good against the hide, but you know, it is what it is. As far as my video, I'm gonna have to give it to the toxic broadhead. Now, the next video we do, we're gonna test these arrowheads against flesh or against ballistic gel. You guys saw ballistic gel block in the last video where we shot through the block to determine the penetration through bone, and you guys can see the kind of stuff they did. But the video we're gonna do next is gonna be purely gel block, how it handles the gel block. So that's it for now, you guys. About to wrap it up. I'll see y'all next time on ED Outdoors. EDO out.